actually how these things are done. Probably if during, if it is permitted during on a holiday or something, if we can ask them to actually go visit 2 or 3 stores, find out from their store managers, like for example, More and Reliance, the way they display the products are different. I mean, how they maintain the shelf displays, what products they give at, which is maintained at what level. So if I'm talking about, there are certain things that, certain products are maintained at the lower bottom line of the shelf, etc. So rather than explaining it, they actually go to those places, visit them, and find out how often they change. Like he was talking about the aging cycles and all that. Instead of giving a theoretical understanding alone, if we were to allow them to go actually do some groundwork, come back and present it, I think that would help them understand also, and also that might be useful when it comes to their placement person. They will be able to talk about it better. So that's something I was thinking could be incorporated and bonus and what do you so it's the same as a short-term project kind of.
Any suggestions to the marketing group? Having listened to the marketers from the industry, do other people have any sort of suggestions?
I think
are you also in marketing? Do you teach marketing or? Okay. But do you normally teach? What do you like teaching?
Yeah, I had taught Vidyadhara National University had a full-time MBA program.
Okay.
So they had stopped in last year. So I had for 2 years I had taught marketing.
Yeah, but what do you normally like?
Yeah, marketing statistics and
Statistics. Okay. So you're also on the funding side as well as on the marketing side. So would others like to give any suggestions to marketing faculty in terms of what they can do? Okay. In the light of the whole discussion to demand. Yes, it is.
yeah, see, what is needed is you will really don't have to worry how you will basically find out all these nitty-gritties. This has to be a very collaborative effort, and you will cease to become an instructor or whatever. Then you will be more of a facilitator. So the learning will have to happen from these students, and obviously in the terms of projects, but not macro projects. Very specific projects, and they come, they share the learning with you people in the class, and that is how it's being done. For example, in retail, for example, let's say there are so many retail companies here. There are grocery retailers, fashion merchandising and all that. So these people go and go to various retailing companies. And one of the things which they can come back and tell you is the kind of reports which the store manager generates or gets in retail. And what are the type of schemes which are running. And when these students come back and share these things in the classroom, you people can take a note of that and try to emphasize this is what you will be doing if you join a retail company as the first 2 years. Or in other words, in the integrated marketing communication class, if you join Vodafone, somebody came to Vodafone came to Vodafone recruited. So these people are going to sell either prepaid cards or postpaid cards. So one of the things which they will ensure is that visibility of these things in the small stores where these cards are being sold. So your marketing communication for them is only relevant in that particular case. So if the people have done projects in similar companies, then they can come and tell you, this is how below the line, this is how we advertise, and this is how these are present. You pick up the specifics and then teach them. Then you teach them. This is what we have to do. In which case there is no disconnect when they want something to do. This can happen in many companies, like consumer durable companies like Samsung. There are so many things which they do. If you walk into a mall, you will see their standees. If you walk into a showroom, you will see how particular company Samsung is displayed in a particular way. All these things are what the industry captains like the person who came here wants. Unfortunately, our students cannot relate. So the onus is for you is not to actually generate information, but just to assimilate that from the various molecules, consolidate that and re-emphasize that before they go into the placement season or whatever, even in your course, the evaluation matters. That is what I would do. Yeah.
So I think when we start this marketing, almost they have said that we will do grassroots level. So probably the president is immediate some idea with these almost what is it, daily connections with the customer. For example, related to agency. If they are just going to newspaper, just like dealing with the agency, asking them what is the product size, what is the price of that, and why I should give address to this newspaper. I think this newspaper is one price. Why in that newspaper is not that much price? Whether I should give you the left page. What is the advantage of giving you the left page and what is the advantage of giving the right side of the page? Like there are a lot of things they can implement themselves. So when these kind of things, small things, when we implement themselves to generate ideas from the field. After that, when we incorporate them into the field, sometimes we will have much more advantage. So what happens is, we will classic parameters, we will do a lot of things here. But simple things like this, they will not be able to mention to them. So for example, when I go for an interview, somebody else, in which newspaper is done, I want to give an address according to your opinion. In which newspaper I should give, they will not be able to answer. So you have to give this newspaper on this day. Why I should this will leadership is there, this will person will be there, I have to give it to the front page, I can give it to the last page, I should give it to the when they are able to answer specifically, then we can say that we have thought down truthfully. So that
one thing in industry also we do.
I am also businessman.
Okay, yes.
So we should get that type of culture we should develop. Once I did the course, some students asked me about how to generate sales from vehicle. So I also have experience because nothing is there. And I also got my first time. So they were asking me, people don't support you. You should go and help the business. Then people normally have an from where because I was first made over selling the car. So we in between we talk like this. Can we go to the bus stop and ask, we want a car, we want a car? Can we do like that? But we should learn how to generate business. So what we did was, we have spent a lot of time we thought that we should get business. Else we only be fired from the time. What to do? So after something got an idea. What we did was we prepared a small question. We are waiting for thinking. The questions are very simple. Which kind of car do you want now? Are you wishing to replace your car? Are you wishing to upgrade like that? Some questions here. And we entered into overflights. Everybody gave the question. All the questions were okay. We got sufficient data that is sufficient for making the same question. So like this type of thoughts things that we should basically into mind of the students. They are very into the sustainable. And we managed to also when we send these type of MBAs, even though there was every morning, if something else done, you have to go and do this. That's the how. Somewhere even I have seen from the students say, you give me these. I will go and say. When people say, if I know who is the customer, I can do it. Why I need you? Because I need you because I don't know who are there is a potential for it. That's why I need you. So like that people. So when some students come out from businessman, they should be in such a level position. If you are selling to them totally blind into the market, they should be catch the customer with business. So when they are able to do like that, zoom into that level, I think that's what we have to do in marketing.
Any other suggestion to the marketing strategy based upon interactions with the market?
I was just feeling one more point that while we are looking at skill building at the lower level, as teachers or faculty or professors, we also should try to consolidate this learning and reiterate this learning because knowing the kind of guys and girls we are teaching, once or twice if you summarize, this is not going. So conceptualizing this and like what he said, creating vacuum, creating leads out of vacuum. But then we should have a principle so that this applies to many industries, not necessarily a particular industry. That is when they will be able to implement that once they get into practice. So that is your role, and that is our role, faculty's role. Understanding from the market or from these people, consolidating that,
then again recruiting that is important. So disparate projects, but ultimately you become almost a researcher, yes, generalizing across these disparate small projects. Now, a couple of things I will eliminate from the type of projects in which we are visualizing. One is, even though Dr. Deepu Varghese talked about sending around questionnaires, collecting data, etc. What is expected is probably not collecting this sort of data and then putting that as some statistical analysis like t-test and this is not what is expected. That particular data collection is exclusively for generating business. You have to look at it in that particular line. The typical research methodology sort of projects, which I think you should definitely do for your PhD. Because otherwise your guide will not accept your PhD work. But that is not the style in which the industry works, and hence we are getting this sort of grassroots information purely from a business angle. Okay? So that is the sort of project which we are talking about. So I am eliminating the typical PhD research methodology type of projects, which probably might be required to finance by the engineering university. We have to definitely provide them. We should train our students to do that because engineering university wants to do. Okay? So then I eliminated that. I eliminate also this so-called organizational study type of projects, which talks about the whole organization, its organizational structure and strategy, 5 forces analysis, and things like that, etc. Which again is required for your OS project at the end of the first year from the MG University. You should definitely train the students and provide MG University with that. So these are all for MG University. Okay? So we should do those things, we should continue to do those things, but then these sort of projects which we are talking about again are not organizational study type of projects. Okay? These are also not projects where the student would collect a whole lot of information from the net, okay, put the whole thing in nice PowerPoint presentations on how this particular industry works, etc. etc. That might be required to some extent for understanding even grassroots. Okay. But if it's just on that, they just give you a lot of garbage collected from the net. So I'm eliminating 3 types of projects. The typical PhD research methodology. Number 1. Number 2, the typical OS project, organizational study project. Number 3 is information collected from the net on the industry, etc., which you just give back. But these are all projects where you talk to customers on the road or in retail outlets, etc. You talk to people at the retail level, talk to people in the sales offices, and then through these conversations, collect your information and then compile result in English. So that is all. It has to be a small task given to them. Go and sell this. As things you read, they sold t-shirts. So they went and sold t-shirts. Why? Because they were feeling that they can do things. So it has to be either that or collecting information by listening to people at the grassroots level. So I'm just differentiating between the projects which we are talking about and the sort of typical traditional projects done in academics. One caution over here is that, see, in the placement interviews, ultimately, you might have done projects, your students might have done projects in the telecom industry or in the furniture industry, etc. But they might ask you about a totally different sort of industry. So that can definitely happen. Okay? So that is this sort of generalized information which we use a thought about. As an academic, as a researcher, you have to communicate the commonalities between these projects and give it back to the students, so that they have something to talk about. Something interesting to talk about to the industry because they have to face it. That's number 1. Number 2 is also, I think the gather people and the soft skills training people, they are probably going to get involved in that. Then, how do you make the individual ultimately ask you questions about a project which you have done. Okay. So there is a skill required for that, by which to draw the attention of the interviewers to the things which you have done. Okay. So the earliest opportunity bring the interviewers into your area of expertise, your strengths, and then you are able to sell all these projects which you have done, get information collected. So that's the job of, I think, other people and the social opinions and replacement trainers, etc. See that our students become smarter in turning the interview to their advantage, rather than sitting there and saying that you ask me questions, I respond if I have the answers. Otherwise, I say I don't understand, I don't know, etc. That should not be sort of interview approaches this year. Unless there is anything more to contribute, seniors, Jayachandran sir, Satish sir, etc.
Really, what I just wanted to add to this is, of course, you have eliminated all the big so-called projects, etc., and then focusing on small projects, you have some tasks you have to do, so that while doing the task, you have to, or the faculty will have to tell these people that the same work you will have to do when you go to an organization also. So be prepared for that, because your attitude and your the motivation level for doing such work in the initial years or initial months, that will really take you at a higher times. Don't think that you will be directly absorbed to this senior manager or middle level manager. That's a from an information that also will have to be told. And yes, so that has to go from not only from these marketing faculties, by every faculty, this has to be, this message has to be. That's all what I
So while practical aspects have to be given trust, I think theoretical framework also should be taught thoroughly, because they may use some of these concepts maybe later, not necessarily in the first one. Suppose they become a marketing head, then he should have an overview of IMC also. It's not only that he executes, he will have to give some instructions to those people who execute. So a theoretical framework should not be forgotten about. By maybe initially, okay, small projects, but then at the same time, the theory part should be thoroughly understood by the student. Because later on, this is only an education process. It's not necessary that you apply all those things which you learn immediately. You have to maybe, for example, strategy or corporate governance. People don't use them immediately. But they have to appreciate that such a thing exists. And maybe later on, when they become CEO or maybe senior vice president, some of the higher positions, they have to use this. Then at least things might have changed over a period of time. But still they know that there is something like corporate governance. So they will be able to appreciate and learn more about it since they have a theoretical knowledge.
Okay, but how do you answer this question? When I did my MBA or subsequently redid my MBA, I am on the law. Okay. Porter did not, by that time, hadn't come out with 5 forces. Okay. Prahlad hadn't come out with 4 confidence. 25 years down the line, when I went for my alumni meet, most of my classmates had become CEOs. Probably, not directly or explicitly, indirectly they might have used core confidence. Indirectly they might have used 5 forces, etc. But then, when we study, we have only BCG metrics, okay? Or some model by Ansel, I remember, either Ansel, okay? And we have only those things, okay? So 25 years down the line, Ansel was useless for them. BCG metrics was useless for them. Something which they did not study during their post-graduation, 5 forces, core competence, they were the ones which are used. So how do you address that issue?
See, for example, BCG matrix is one of the first fundamental, say, portfolio tool. Okay, what sort of changes have happened to that? But knowing that will definitely lead them to maybe GE 9 subject or maybe newer ones. They will be interested in doing it. Other than just, okay, that is not available now. That's a different issue. That has undergone dramatic changes. Portfolio, I mean, the concept itself has undergone change. Similarly, Waters, maybe, originally, the strategy, the models were created by Waters or and so, but they have undergone change. But that does not mean that we have developed new theories based on these theories. Not that suddenly some new concept. These have been developed into maybe better tools. So there is nothing wrong in remembering them. They will only make you will be able to understand how it has undergone a change.
Okay.
For example, there were lots of group, I mean, lambda and DC geometry. That is the reason why G stands for a 9 cell which is more, minute in details. So, to appreciate that, I think it's better to have a basic idea of portfolio theory in business. So, that BCG matrix is a valuable tool. It was used by many people in the original initial days. But then it underwent change, that is true. But today, even now, portfolio tools are applicable. And many people use them.
There are certain things which are long-standing, but there are certain things which have been completely rewritten.
Yes.
Okay. My way of putting it is in this particular manner. Okay. I'm just bringing out some nuance in this.
Yeah.
One is learning theories. The other is developing the skill in learning theories. These are two different things.
Yes.
These are totally different things.
Yes.
One is learning theory during the 2 years. Second is developing the skill in learning theories. Are you able to get the difference? I go for the latter, not for the former.
No, but unless you have the basic concepts clear.
No, basic concepts keep changing. See, Michael Porter's writings, can you show in competitive strategy, the whole of Harvard Business School website on competitive strategy, there's not even a single mention about core competence.
Yes.
This core competence was a tangential development.
Yes.
Tangential development, and hence they don't even accept technology because it's not even built upon the economics of psychosis. Okay. And hence they don't acknowledge. So there are departures possible.
Yes.
The nuance which I am bringing is this, in the sense that learning theory is not important. Developing the skill in learning theories is more important. I don't know, am I communicating? There is a difference between the two. Okay? Many times we fail basically because we teach theory. At the end of it, no. We have to train the student in learning theories.
Yes,
I fully
agree with you that we have to make students learning oriented.
Okay.
Even in theories, according to me.
Right.
Yeah, that is precisely what I do. But that, see, without telling them some of the essential theories, how will you induce them to make
Yeah, there will be methodologies. What I'm talking about is just because 15 years down the line I become a top manager, today's theory is not at all important for me. What is important for me is to develop within the skill to learn theories when it is appropriate. That is what is important. Okay, so many times we teach theories without teaching the technique for learning theories as and when they develop and as and when they have to be used in the real world. Okay? That's a totally different training program. Because 25 years down the line, when my classmates, when they became successful CEOs and when they used core competence and 5 courses, they could use them not because they were taught these during their MBA days, but because they learned the ability to learn these theories when they were.
But then, here, for example, a theoretical background in strategy will induce you to learn more about strategy.
So let me
This is what I want to say.
what I would say, I got your viewpoint. It is required because as time goes on, then only you climb the ladders, and by the time whatever theories we have now laid may not be of much of use. So, but you are developing. As a person, you are developing and learning, and that is why when you reach that position, you should be able to use the appropriate theories which are available at that time. Agree? And his point, as I understood, if I am wrong, please correct me, is that now we have got, say, we have got a one line. That is, there are students who are appearing for MBA examination. If they want to get marks, you have to study all these theories. So maybe relevant later, relevant, that doesn't matter. You have to study.
For examinations, I agree with all of
And so then,
They want to make a faculty. This is needed.
so,
This is needed because revolution of the management concept. You cannot go and use only maybe the last
I will do something, sir.
Yeah.
It is not true. So this was only one side of the line, that is getting good marks in the present curriculum, business syllabus, etc. Then the next is getting a job, and once they enter into a job, how they should behave and etc. That is a different aspect. Probably that was what we were discussing in the morning. Okay, in that aspect, the theory part should be there for getting the degree, and that is already there. But don't think that we can immediately go to a company and become the chief strategic officer, etc. See, you may have to start from getting the floor like that. That sort of a mentality we have to inculcate in these students so that they will stick on to at least where they rolling Moses, rolling rock. This one here Moses or something like that. Most. That is, I don't even know the you will have to be in some institution for some time. And once you have developed and probably you got almost everything, then you move on. And while during that process, as you clearly said, whatever is that up-to-date theories and the systems, etc., unless this gentleman is not thorough with that, he cannot go up. So we will leave him there. So that is his own humor, let us say. So,
Let me just add something more. You know, when you say you teach theory, I really don't understand in marketing what is such a complicated theory which you really have to teach the students or the students. Isn't it a simple little thing, plain English which he can read and comprehend? I never really understood the communication part of it. But on the other hand, if you want to apply the theory to a real practice situation, that requires real skill. Now, what happens is most faculty, I'm not pinpointing anybody, I've seen across faculty, even my own faculty. It's easy for anybody to take a PPT and theory and present it and explain the various concepts and all, finish. Now, there is no learning from the student. If you really want to teach that student this particular theory, then you have absolutely no. I would say you have 1 hour session on BCG methods. Don't even spend 2 minutes on the theory part. In 58 minutes, you should spend on how this method is applicable to different industries. And if you do that, theory is automatically, if at all you want to teach the theory, that is. So that is what the whole concept is. Now, what happens when they come out of our MBA institutions? Neither do they know theory, nor do they know the practice. Because they have to, they don't read their books and all that. And so we have a situation of United kind of guys who neither know theory, nor does they know the practice, which has to change. So I feel really seriously that I have never come across such a complicated theory in management, which needs so many hours of lecturing to really inculcate that in any student. Please tell me any theory if I forget my ignorance. I really have not come across that. You can read it for yourself, and the input from the faculty should be to make them, when they learn the theory or whatever you call it, practice it. How really it is in practice. And not at a higher level, lower level as well. Lower level as well.
what is in this correct, sir? But Now, taking the present student population, especially in the CS match, we were all saying that none of the students, they don't listen in the classes. One day. Then finally, just before 1 or 2 days before the final university exam, they will go and find out some Malakala university certification or somebody and the guide. They will release that and then only they come and
I agree with you. You know, why do they don't listen to the class? That is my first question. Why do they don't listen to you? Or not you, anybody? That is because they know that whatever these people are saying, I can easily get from the guide or from the textbook or from the downloaded PDF. On the other hand, if you start teaching or telling them things which you will not get anywhere, then they will always listen to you. Then they get out of it. That's very interesting. The class is very interesting. You know, you understand that? I think during the engineering days, I never used to attend any of these our live doctor's classes because whatever they teach was available in standard textbooks. And for me, 1 hour or 2 hours of waiting to do the thing. On the other hand, when it comes to management is a different ballgame because they never used to explain what is there in the textbook or what is there in the article. It was something totally different. So unless you listen to them, you don't understand. So I think that you are right when they say they don't listen. Problem would be this. You don't give them anything new or anything which is not available elsewhere, easily. If you give them that, I think obviously they will listen.
Especially because it's more common sense. Yeah. So there is a very common sense you get. There's nothing much complicated in most of these theories, and hence, unlike engineering is different. Engineering is so it's all. But then when you really come to apply that, you don't know what. For example, I think Chris sent me the question for one of his papers, I don't remember which one, where he wanted to ask a question on 5 forces model. I think you're going to ask a 5 forces model question and you want to make an open book examination. I said, ask them to apply 5 forces model to Bob's candy. That I think is the ideal thing. Then, because you cannot open, even if you are running an open book exam, you will never get 5 forces model applied to Bob's candy anywhere in any textbook. But if you ask 5 forces model applied to Coca-Cola, you will get it all pre-prepared, already in the internet. So, but then, I'm sure that if you had asked that question, I don't know if they asked that question or not, students would have found it extremely tough to apply over there, okay? Make sense out of it, etc. That I think shows the brings out a skill in the student. So I think there are a lot of classrooms, things which they can do, by which they can understand the concepts. Here is actually in a much better manner. Okay? If you teach theory per se, then I think they will get good. If you teach
theory aspect, as you rightly said, how to apply something to practice. That is what you have to do.
It's a very good things like, you said I was not really talking about this marketing.
Yeah, me too. I was talking general.
Yeah, and so then certain things at least they will have to apply their mind, probably they spell reading because again the IQ level and the ability that also reflects on the person. And that is where we are finding it difficult. Even the people who come in a first year or first semester with some really interest to learn, slowly they will drop. And that is a syndrome, I think, all of us feel. Am I right or wrong? That is a real problem.
Maybe, I agree with you. I also know that they will drop. But is it because, I'm just thinking devil's advocate. Is it because that we don't give them anything of value? So that they came here for something else, but we are not delivering that. So obviously they say that we go back. I'm just looking at this because I don't have an answer. Every class of us, if we can give them value, some value, 5%, 10% value addition, what they come to and listen.
Okay, then again depends upon whether the boat is kept upright or upside down. Here, in most of the cases, it is upside down.
I don't know. When I really don't see, I interacted with most of these students, part of the placement process. I think there is a real willingness for them to learn. At least I don't know whether it is because they were reaching the back end of their course. There was a willingness and there was some earnestness I could observe. in most of them, though I would not say that 100% of them are very honest and very eager. But I think we should really be focusing on them and little more personalized attention, whatever we call it. We can turn them around. We can turn them around. Instead of just leaving them as go-hoopers. What you said is correct. And outwardly, you're right. What you said is right. They look like people with their, boards inverted. But once you get to know them, dig deeper, I don't think they are really of that type. And especially many of them feel that, since they have grown around 4 or 5 lakh rupees, they really want to get that work out of that. That is most of their feeling. That's what they say.
So that in a way, they want more data placement.
It's not only placement. Actually, obviously it talks about placement also. But then, it also says that they wanted to get something out of the course. Somewhere down the line, they would have missed that line. I don't know. This is a feeling I got. But then it's not a 2-year kind of interaction. I just had a small interaction with them over a very limited time, and this is the feedback I think I got. The feeling, not the feedback.
It will be right because at that time it was mostly the placement that we said.
Or probably that's the time when they realized that they should have derived some value out of the 2 years they spent. I don't know.
I think we get back to these issues because there are never-ending discussions which we have. But there is a problem which we have definitely addressed. The problem is, I think we'll get to know about the problem much more when we listen to Dr. Anirudhan, followed by, I will suggest, Pramod, and then we come to the presentation. That's different. That's placement, examination results. So these two would meet our customers' needs. The industry is one customer, their needs, and the student and their results in the examination. The students are our second customers, and then we come to what sort of inputs are we getting, and can we transform them to see that they are employable and also the pass reasonably. So we'll come back to that now and then get back to this debates again later on. So let's listen to Dr. Anirudhan. So we are looking at a customer end now, and then we go back to our inputs. That's what we do. Yeah.
Good afternoon. So, interesting sessions this morning, especially done with the industry people. I'll come back to that comments later. Let me make the placements later. So, to start with the placement training. We are not to develop the students and go to these skills. We have been organizing training in different areas on communication, attitude, and industry sector-wise, and yes, sir. So, communication aptitude games, then introduce techniques, mock interview, mock ED, industry sector-wise analysis, logical reasoning, fine dining, for different objectives are there in giving these inputs, like as companies are coming, people are not interested by money. He was suggesting that companies are coming, but students are not interested in attending. So kind of lethargy, or they are not aware of the importance of placement and making a good career and all. So the training input can be. And the other thing about communication, we have what we buy from industry, whoever is coming, the students are having ideas, but they are not able to put across or express their ideas because of language barrier. And sector-wise again, analysis, which kind of an industry we want to make it area. Then the psychological areas like blogs and all that will be removed to listening, and the etiquettes, business etiquettes and values to finance. This total makes 11, 17 and 20 days spread across to 270 students, including Bhagavan and Trivandrum. Okay, there are 18 companies visited in the campus. So there are in the campus as well as off campus. So there are 18 companies visited, and these are the companies where you are familiar with there is the blue chip or fortune companies and even ordinary companies. So 18 companies we represent here. This includes Bhagavan campus, so Trivandrum campus. Now, batch-wise status. We have Trivandrum, these many 10 students were placed in different. Each state Trivandrum campus, the attendance part was very poor. Even they came to Bhagavan campus to attend there was they only 7 students being there, we did not participate in the back after 1 day, 2 days. That's why the number of students were placed in this way. Now, these another statistics for EDM, Trivandrum, and Bhagavan and total. 83 students are already got offer from different companies. In the campus, off campus, and companies from India and international companies, then maybe we make batch preparation by 73. Total 83. Very good. These are the training areas we have already seen. Now, another statistic is the number of students the number of students attended training, workplace. Number of students attended training, somewhere 90. Out of that, 80 students were placed.
80 students only offer.
Offer means you get separation. Then you get offer. It's not shortlist. Offer means either we get a written information from the company or a letter of appointment.
So 50 did not attend the training.
No,
It's 240.
no, 269. We have said.
No, it's
Right.
the number 80 by 240.
240, yeah, 240 here. Here.
How many students?
It is 169 MBA and 50 PGDA here.
So totally,
169 plus 59,
219.
219.
And then you included Trivandrum also.
No, advantage is 40.
No.
50.
Otherwise,
No, advantage is 50. Okay. So 269. 269.
after that, 29 students did not participate in training.
Only 29 will come. What happened to those 29 people who did not participate?
They did not that actual academic tactics. So I have taken
What happened to 29 did not?
Ah, so 3 good places.
Yeah.
So, if only 269 attended,
So there is some difference. So you say that 190 attended the training. 190. Right?
190, 190.
190, that's what.
that is the department. All. So they are not given a single leave to the ESC student. That's the word here.
So in general, training matters. That's what we are saying, isn't it?
Alright.
No, this is placement training, exclusively for.
Okay. I'm talking about placement training.
Placement training, including attitude,
And
communication. It can be, it not be focus on placement alone. Okay, it's a general moving or developing person. That helps in placement.
You are talking about this outside the placement agency. Right?
Yeah.
It's only on that.
No, outside is plus professional. No.
Okay, that's what I think 20, 12, 21 days.
Yes.
Is it completely missing all those students from that or any particular place?
No, most of these 29 students,
If they are the same people missed all the placement activities, someone missed in the first part.
no, placement activities they are very good. But not the training.
So training we have.
Initial, I explained. This 29 is the entire all trainings.
Yeah.
Yes.
including your.
Obviously, I don't know. It's actually different. These 29, what it means is that who did not attend any single
Any
training.
other training.
You have taken the attendance sheet and taken all training. And then
29 is the same for all.
So you could even have much more bifurcated analysis. I'm assuming that data are available on for which type of training, what is the placement rate. So that also you can do because the data, probably the data are available, right? So such analysis also could be done in the given class.
if they got, we are attended all these students, then another probably 89 meetings of 83, 6 more students.
That's all.
Okay, another stat is the number of companies recruited is so far 45,000 has become 48. Today and tomorrow there
So what is
are.
it, 18 money number earlier? One each?
you said number of companies visited.
Companies visited in the
In
campus.
campus. Oh, there is, oh, yeah.
Others
Yeah,
others are 50 campus. Okay, then number of students attended interviews, 1,115 interviews attended by these students. The number of students who got offers, offer letters are 83. Number of students awaiting offers are 16. So shortlisted, right, subject to confirmation. Okay, then total offers is we are taking, assuming that 50% of 60 cannot be offered. Then it can become 120. Okay, this conversion ratio 20%.
This 83 is not number of students or number of offers.
Number of the students who have already offers, yes. Few students are.
Few students. Yeah, so when you divide by 1115, you will have number of offers on the numerator. Am I right? Because this is number of offers. 83 is number of offers. Offers.
But what he says is there are.
But actually, there are not many who have got multiple offers. How many are there in multiple offers? 27. So you can. That's all.
Out of 7, one is international.
Okay. The data is the conversion ratio. What Arindran has taken 50% of the 30 awaited also. But actually, as of date, if you divide 83 by 1115, conversion rate is 7.5%. So, which is very good. Yeah. So that is where we need to improve. That is the everybody's problem. Because if we improve that to 10%, it becomes automatically 120. And typically in any campus, those days, 20 to 25, 20% is common, isn't it? 20% is common. So it's not because of dearth of companies, my reading, it's not because of dearth of companies or number of interviews they give. They are unable to convert. They are unable to convert those calls, which actually calls for not only theoretical placement training, it's a mix of everything. It's not just placement training. Sometimes they lack in theory and theory means practical knowledge. Sometimes they lack in communication skills. Sometimes they lack in oratory skills. Sometimes they lack in group discussion skills. So that is where serious problem here is. And also one data is not captured. How many did not attend any? There are a lot of people who said they will come and they did not.
That is a frequent affair. Every interview in numbers given and never attended. So that is it.
And I can understand if it is from some insurance company, but there was a report recently. I remember Thomas Cook wanted to
even legal is
and there was another one where the Star train was scheduled then out of 7 out of 3 drivers.
Yes.
So what was that one? Get it?
Okay.
Okay. The fact is 7 people were scheduled for the second round of interview. 5 people, but only 3 drivers.
That is from EC flow.
Easy flow.
Okay, then the batches, EDM.
Is there any way we can find out by talking to them as to why they are not? And then we did do a talk. I did talk to them initially. That was at the beginning of the season. Many of the guys chucked interviews. They were afraid of leaving, and they were telling me that in private that they could not stand the ridicule which they will have to pay if they get cut. That was one of the major concerns. Initially, many of them were not confident of speaking English, and they had enjoyed working water. Enjoyed the in colleges that happens, and they did not want to upset that pecking order by going into an interview and coming out not being selected. That was one reservation. Second reservation, many of them could not communicate properly, and sometimes they just giving the chance to go by. Third, number of chance institutions. Because they had better, still better company would come and they would rather preserve their chances. So these are the 3 reasons which I could find. Of which the chance one is something which we can always solve. The other 2, obviously it is a long-term effort from our side. Then only the lack of confidence in speaking in English.
Last part exam also.
I don't
When there was 7, 8, 9 days, we are only we were arranging the meeting. You have to.
As far as reason number 1 influence, those people should not be attending any intervention. So we did work on that after when Arindran and Sharad a few of them, and after that a few of them attended. And there are still people who are not given any. There should be. Am I right?
There are some,
There are people who have not given any.
then another reason is that 60%. The mark cut off. That is one reason.
But that is there, not there for all.
Yes, sir. We have to attract two students having 60% to work. Then backward also.
But that is not for all of them. It's not all certain.
No, most of the good companies have
Good companies have it.
and some companies have 70%. So the policy pressure they could not have.
Last academic course of when we were talking about the students who are now coming, is that the school system they are doing, they have a lot of project and all. So we were talking about that. Now the students who are afraid of failure, because when you are eligible, now the system, school system and college system is like that, if you are eligible to get a hall ticket, you are told to pass the exam. 10, 12. They never tasted the failure. The same thing. They are going to attend the interview. So they are not, they never attend the it is coming in a huge problem. We are going to face in the future. So another problem is we have conducted 31 days of external training whatever we have done. We need to do it on a daily basis. Yeah. That's the problem. Instead of I don't know if I don't have any job, we can go back home. I can still search for something. That is also
Then if I can add, there were a few feelings that just basically don't like sales job, which the reality of the situation is that they will get only sales jobs. Now that part, that conditioning, we have to do in various courses. With faculty and all of us, that's. And all that is the concept. And we need to change that to this course. Like the kind of focus we are was talking about, that will automatically know that this is what we are doing. And this 2 year, that's why I said it's a 2-year program. It's not a compressed, focused 6-day, 3-day, it doesn't work. And I am feeling confident that if we had got it as oriented, our placement numbers would have been far forward. We could have actually got even more companies, but then they resisted because companies would come and nobody would have got. So that was a very big embarrassment for the placement.
What on campus, there will be more students for in second semester. Also, 50, 46 are back. And there are more people who every day they cannot go for one reason that. The other one is the activity is not, they highly selective. But you are coming here for a interview. 7 students came from the 50. As all the 7 students after 1 hour or 2 hours said this, we are not able to, we will not be able to work for this company and we are doing that. And they will back. Similarly, in
raw bag of and good companies. They take leave from the college and never mix the venue.
Yeah, I remember that. They went to Chennai and apparently for the purpose of attending interview, they never turned up. I think it was obvious. 2, 3 from Trivandrum. The Alcon guys standed up. 3 guys from Trivandrum decided to look at the Chennai city and came back. They forgot 5 was the basic. And so good job organized.
One of the safest jobs was to get. From there, I think 1, 2 or 3 students attended RBS. One got selected from the one.
I see. Another thing, sir, can we look at this removing for the ideal modulation, the number of chances? Always I had very strongly feel against that. There are number of chances.
Yeah, also for it.
Yes, yeah, I remember. I remember. You also for that. Yeah. So if you could remove it, I think many of the academics would go. N number of chances to be given. So I think the school committee will have to take a call on that.
So, if you wanted to see the names of students, out of 50, these students, 70 students from PGDM go top. 70 students from PGDM out of 40. Also, PGDM.
That's one higher than 33% or lower than 70 out of 50. Again 33%. 34. So it's the same. So the rate of placement is same for MBA.
No, the other one was the old.
Yeah, but it's the same. The rate is same. The gain 33% there. Here again is 33% or 24%. Marginal.
And about 15 companies you have quoted for PGDM alone.
Why?
Because they wanted to join immediately.
Let's see.
The Indian people will take time to join. MBA.
We need a feedback.
MBA. 169. Now, we get feedback from industry people who are coming for technical levels. So, they have appreciated the management faculty who and the dedicated students to coordinate the hospitality and services. Then requirements. Again, to improve is the communication skills we already discussed. Then subject knowledge and sector-based knowledge should be improved. And then students should be well groomed and well versed. Initially, there was some problems, none of these and to improve. Now, I will take another time and myself there and train them. Those who are not improved well. Another point I want to share is that the kind of questions they are at times based on projects and they are not able to put across effectively, and that is one of the reasons they were rejected. People are not taking OS as well as project very seriously. Even now, that is not for OS and or Tally after 60 days is essential kind of question because I am introducing them to some companies. Some companies insist that it should be there. So that's one reason. And they are not deeply studying the project aspect or the OS studying And other areas like interviews are now changed to tele-interviews as well as live interviews. So that's another reason for this students getting taken to first round. First round is they are not able to communicate. Then today's after seeing today's industry performance, what I see is that we already see the manufacturing sector today. It's not the synergy with IT and finance and everything. When we include kind of marketing, HR, finance, learning, syllabus, and we should have done also. Instead of this kind of process, I think instead of a conference or something like one like this year presented a paper and then we people from IT, finance, finance, and then manufacturing. All these sectors should be there to evaluate on board. All the inputs required for the students.
In fact, if you job, you
I'm going to take every day.
you know, more opportunities.
All three should be every day. Today for marketing, we are only here about the manufacturing side. But this is not the scenario for IT or other areas. They are very far. They want every the day one deliver the start working. Day one.
I think we can bring them outside this sort of payment. We give them an academic workshop, but please don't give them and just have a discussion with them on what we are doing here, whether we are doing the right thing or not, and then was this, that bring those recruiters into an academic workshop. That is what I told.
So one full day can be for that, and after that we can
So design something on those things. Somebody write a minutes of this. We're supposed to write minutes of this. Oh, you're right. So include all these.
So these are some of the suggestions which you already discussed. Training, communication, continuation, communication, and data Dr. Elizabeth and Mr. Jacob and Roland. Then I think it's on the final stage, right? That will be all the three.
Can you send me that? I have not seen that yet.
Then you need to find out where the design to controlling how to attendance of training.
No. First of all, show that statistics. 29 versus what is that? 100. Yeah. Show that statistics to project it very high to students. And if I had regarding the one of the comments from the interview was lack of subject knowledge.
Yeah.
What is it's not that they lack advanced
which they may have, by virtue of the fact that they take this classroom to the second year. What most of the questions are faced with very different readiness in core areas in marketing, OB, and finance. And that is what so that we have to have an emphasis while the classes are going on, or that is not possible. We should have a focused effort from the academic team to teach them the basics, very basics of what they actually learn first, like leadership, theory, SQI, or technical BCG. And sometimes interviews ask relevant questions and they put time value of 20%. And that leaves a very poor picture. So I don't know whether during the courses in the first year that emphasis can be made, or later on before the interview time begins, we need to focus on that. And interviews will begin as early as September this year. So we need to plan for that very early. It's not like last time we started February, but typically basically starts much ahead.
Even I was started in November, but in November started with the HDI and
But that was it.
yeah.
So October it will start. So before that, this thing has to happen. The core. I don't know how you do that. I used to have grow up because students realize that this is a problem. Because when you come to the placement interviews, they ask us one to answer the first year, okay, OB, first year, marketing, etc. And then you are not able to articulate very well. So they themselves organize concept quizzes. So everybody will sit there and they generate all the questions. Students themselves generate all the questions. And they normally invite a faculty member to come and sit there. That's what they do. So we just, turn by turn, we call one faculty. We can think about it as a quiz, answer quiz, and make it a little bit fun also. So give the students themselves the job. Okay. And one faculty should be there to see if they are conceptually wrong, should be your point. Okay. And hence others should be there. Otherwise, I think push the responsibility onto them, see that it is done. Our job is to say it is done. Okay. But the execution could be by the students themselves. This is one sentence from my side.
Small group with 30 members.
Just like you have the week, every weekend quiz program, contemporary events, let this be a quiz program on concepts, let them gather it.
And the second year program the EP. Same time can be played for
Correct. Yeah, it should be like that. Daily basis. Daily basis. On different, one day in finance, one day in accounting, one day in economics, etc. It goes on like that. But who will take the lead? Placement, I don't think will be receiving the support from this and all that. So I don't think we properly placement will I don't know. Yes. So you have to have concept which are part of gather for the non-credit program.
It will be continuous.
Yeah.
So I would like to share some of my feedback on where visiting companies, very good companies. They know that there is an institution called DC School of DC Groups, but they always got the identity and the same. Why not DC? Let me explain about this dialogue and our show. I mean, this would be given in an EP. So they really get impressed. That is why we have started even corporate presentation with few companies. I think we should focus more on that. And then
I would suggest video clips. Video clips of actually what's happening. To be shown to them in case they are able to see that.
no, one thing that or can increase their frequency of corporate people visiting the campus and interaction. That can be one thing, they come to know. When CEOs, breakfast with CEO can be increased to 2 in a month. Bringing them is not a problem.
That is your responsibility.
No,
There is no limit, I think, sir. Not even to look at me forward.
It is not there, it is an optional.
But the problem is availability of CEO.
No, no, that's okay, that is.
And then this CEO should match. They should be coming from the recruiting companies.
That is one side, but once again, we have potential recruiter also. They can be a potential recruiter. Today our image is there. We want to build that image. We want to be at least number one, at least
And just to add to that point, just remind me, when recruiting companies come, everybody has to count their posts. Because if the student identifies the case in the Vodafone case, we completely take up the student with a lot of questions, and that person was quite interested, and they came to interview. But that was a contract. So whenever a recruiting company CEOs come, you can't take it lightly. You have to go behind, make the student super active. Otherwise, it will go back.
So potential recruiters, they go and think about why don't we go to this. So we can add that is my suggestion, and the frequency to be.
So for meet building, you have breakfast with CEOs. For grassroots knowledge, you have breakfast with alumni and breakfast with immediate boss of the institution who are going to be
More of a convenience, and it's my thinking, more of a convenience. You go for managers, instead of breakfast, you can have dinner with. Yeah. Because that's a relaxing. Use the word inconvenience coming in.
Asking
So evening they can come, they can spend their 1 or 2 hours and dinner. Morning people.
Another problem with the students are, like, we are saying that there is a breakfast with CEO. They think that another scheduled class, another scheduled class.
That's how they
That is how they think. Keeping how they do, there is a complete.
Do you give them also breakfast?
Yes.
No free breakfast. Only your
Immediately after they just to talk.
No.
Yes, I have seen that they are not able to complete their the problem is that we are conducting the video we have to ask questions of another we need to
Prepare them an hour or so.
But you don't call all of them, you call batch by batch.
But in the somebody, one person write a question, whenever there is this thing, they what they will do is that they will ask the question. Because random choice, immediately the question will pass.
When I was there, I was making a small change. If we can practice, that will be nice. So the person is asking the question. I immediately ask that particular person, first of all, give your answer to the question. Then let us whether people present. So there is an onus now, an additional onus that I cannot just ask the question and forget about it. Okay? But I also have to have an opinion on that question from my side. Because questions on facts is not a big question. It's not a very interesting question. Okay. So whenever I hear such questions, okay, tell us what is sales figure of that particular question. Okay, so far. But then in such a case, you have to ask a question, an additional question back to the same person. Now you heard about the sales figure of that particular company, why did you ask that particular question? So I think they have to have an agenda. So I think faculty everywhere should take this responsibility of either making them themselves answer or asking additional questions back to those people who are asking questions.
So the basement, I just would like to mention two things.
Now, just before you start, there is something which you presented last time about internship or something like that. I remember. Which is not running in this presentation. What is that? What is that?
After the OIS, against study, 1 month internship.
Yeah, right. So I think all those things should come. I'll tell you. Yes, sorry. I think there was something missing. Did I heard earlier?
So, what is happening in MBA schools is that they have OIS. Now, what they do is many of them go and take a OIS in little known companies. Mostly Sarkar companies or not so well known companies. And we get for placement people, companies like, Airtel or Airtel. So what happens is these MBA students are unable to showcase that their summer project in a right way, because they say they are running some storm extraction unit or Vilma. These people are not interested. So, and this actual requirement suggestion came from students themselves. They said, so I told them whenever you put on the resume that you run a project, ensure that it is from a reputed, well-known brand. And that makes a difference. So these boys and girls told me that this is a problem. And then they suggested that there are 4 months for the summer vacation, out of which only 1 month is required for the OIS project. They were trying to do the internship in some other company, well-known company. After that, I said fine, and the final resume put only that in university summer project, because the company is going to come, is not really bothered about where the OIS. For that matter, they don't even know this. And that was a suggestion which Andrew would have made that, and I think this year a few of the students did that. Is it right?
No.
Okay, I think we should anyway take this normally that meeting. Isn't it the next of your meeting? That last meeting which we had in the I think you presented that and we took the decision that we have this 1 month internship after, immediately after the OS also.
Yes, but the problem is that people have students are very hot by the time.
No, not about this year, I'm talking about the next year.
Next year.
The only purpose is to showcase their, their resume. Project done in a major because if you go to Airtel or OIS, I'm sure they would. There is nothing about OIS. That is. Because when I for MBA, summer project, they are never a good project. I have no questions about that. But the brand name was not a regular project. So that was the small projects. I know, I agree. I understand. Yeah, so that bypass and that is next year onward we can do that. Which actually this year we will have the same problem. Yeah, this year again. There will be some short the middle of the semester.
Yeah, maybe the third semester we can.
Yeah, if we can make the one. Yeah.
Vacation, if we are talking in vacation,
That's right.
Yeah, but I think we have to communicate to the students. We have to highlight these points in a manner that they know the aim of the students. Yeah, as he said, this particular suggestion came from the students in the sense this year's experience. So we have to feed it back to the students. Let it be clear that it came from the students. That has more value than if we recommend certain things.
So exactly you were saying all the things was all that is actually such coming students.
For the students.
Now we are giving all these.
I think we have to start empowering the students a little bit more, so that they take over a lot of the responsibility. By understanding that there are problems, and hence if we have to really tackle the problems, we have to take the initiative. We'll always get the help of that. That I think has to be the change in the attitude. I hope we will also be getting team. Yes, we get to and we would like to have a tabulated analysis or the feedback, really documented and given to you. That is still
not a format. That way I disagree.
no, but where is the number? Where are the numbers and percentages? I think we have to have a system of that. I don't
Do you have an ISO?
Oh, you have the other
No,
question?
I don't have it.
I never.
But I see it.
It's there.
In that ISO format, we are getting the feedback in the industry.
So we are getting written feedback.
Yes,
in the industry. Are we getting all
Yeah, we are getting from them.
the?
I
Tabulate that.
I told you the afternoon when you got and then can bring that.
I will not tell. We have we have
Yeah.
That's one thing.
And then they also including the that also
But
all the things are great.
yeah. The other thing is, in Japan, they used to do an exercise. I don't know whether they tabulated that. That exercise was some sort of an exit interview for the student to attend the interview. So, two students sat at the table, and immediately after the interview, the student comes to this particular room and tells these two students what questions were asked, okay, and whether they were happy with the answer given or not. They can reveal the answers, fine. Okay. But this documentation used to happen basically to collect information in order to take students for critical interviews.
Anything is happening, but in
It's
the
also happening informal. No, it's not the way what you say. You say that formal. Here it is quite informal. They feel like talking, they will talk. But I still don't know what exactly they are done with that particular data. But there was a non-thing behind the, and she used to sit and, along with another boy used to do that particular job. So there is this system being done. Okay, I think we have to look at exercise over here also. Some people would of course distort questions, they would tell you the questions, they would answer very well, etc. You may not get all that, right, authentic response, but still it's a good set of data. Why would you prepare students for so even with the leftover interviews, I think the first year should manage that. That's the way it was happening. For them, it will be very valuable. Yeah. The second year, that will be first years, do this exercise. Yeah, so that's another thing which any other input or suggestions to the placement group, as well as any suggestion to all of us, so that our training gets changed to suit the requirements. Two important things which you mentioned were number one, communication, number two, subject knowledge. By which you understand is conceptual knowledge, and normally what happens is that an industry person lots of examples. Okay, so you talk about product life cycle, stages, then you would ask, tell me a product which is in a particular stage, which stage is it? Okay, so whether the theory so the student will have to explain the whole thing in examples, which makes it clear that the student has understood the concepts.
So, what I want to share is that Nirvana University, because I came to know that they wanted some appointment with some value. So, three students with one professor. They take appointment in the industry, go there and make presentation about their study and what we do. So, at least one student after this at least one student gets placed. The institute sent one professor or one faculty to these ones to come for a presentation. To take appointment and go and do it. So if there is interest, it's a
That guidance.
that's students.
So you want to attend having a presentation from an interview.
Yeah, because they are involved with because some involved. The presentation is imposition, chances.
So I figured out but then it was so it was
They are going there. They are doing there.
One of the things is that, this internship training, I really do not know whether all of the schools are being given at least one or even two interviews on a one-to-one basis. Who did that? No, I have not done. In fact, 108 students. I wanted them to have a one-to-one interview.
Medical research.
But was it connected? I think
Yeah, they are connected.
who no, they are not perfect. What is feedback I got is we people, the faculty high schools, so I think one of the interviews minimum per student with a panel of over 3 faculty has to be done. You don't have to wait for the lessons to happen. Based on the convenience, that is the request. Second thing is that the GP training also should be ordered out. Instead of having before the baseline, if we can space it, equivalently, whatever way, we are to face that. These two things, I think, I felt, and actually, the students also tell the same thing. The second thing is, very important thing is, you all know TQM, total quality management. It's not the single department's responsibility. That's what we call TQM. So I believe because that it's not the only the placement is not only the responsibility of from the relevant and team. It should be everybody's responsibility. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Because we need a lot of input from the people here, faculty, and until they chip in with their might, it is not possible. And if I say the chicken, I specifically mean the input to the student, whether in terms of interview, or in terms of GED, or in terms of subject knowledge. That has to be a consistent exercise throughout the year or throughout the course. That has to happen. Otherwise, he will fall back. Or not only whoever that person will fall back. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So that system needs to be involved, and much more. And which we, the faculty has to cooperate. And that is what I feel. I just use the example of TQM. It's every department responsible. It's not one department. And the last one, I think the communication among students, not amongst you, that also was lacking because there was a student who actually ran here 2-3 years senior who passed out from Banner. He ran here and said, "Oh, it's not going to placement here without doing." So when I confronted him with the number of interviews, number of placements, offers, then he understood. And the point is, he got a figure from somebody here who is not here. And so that means the placement, whatever success or whatever you call it, is not really getting communicated to all the levels. In fact, the worst case scenario is that from the admissions team in Kottayam, they also get a lot of requests, a lot of counters from prospective students that your placements are bad. So last Sunday, I was here and I called up Suresh, the admission officer. I said, "Do you know how many companies in?" He doesn't know. Then I called up the other guy, "Do you know how many companies in?" He also doesn't know. I don't know. So I think this communication amongst us and more than that, students is very important. This is particularly very important for the admissions purpose. Otherwise, there is resistance. So that I feel that I don't know how you do it, but we need to do that.
Now that they have taken a printout of all this and every officer who is doing the admission.
Oh, well, that's admission is fine, but amongst us, amongst the students, this is not perfect. So you are putting up some posters. Yeah, this is all because of this. We have to do this. Nobody seems to know what is happening here. All this is.
Yeah. Now, admission office has clear data on this.
Before coming to you, Gopuma, you want to say something? I stopped you actually.
No problem. Sir, two things which I wanted to just indicate is that one is the placement training. Placement training for this current batch, 12-14 batch, we started as earlier in August or something like that, or August we started. And then after training, around 5 days, 6 days, all people were very happy and then they went on. Afterwards, we all forgot about continuous training. So what happened was, after about 3 months, 4 months only, this actual placement started. Placement activity started. So at that time, I think Umesh was there. So casually I asked Umesh, is there any benefit out of this training to these students? Immediately Umesh said, no, they don't know what is happening. So this continuous development has to take place. My suggestion is that instead of in the third semester, first month itself, instead of giving a training there, we can maybe start thinking of giving only by October also. So that they'll be fresh and they'll be able to go for placements immediately, one day. Then as this interview and GT, this has to be a part of direct itself, that we have already decided. It has to be a part.
In market, even it's taken out. It's taken out. If you really want one name for everything that is happening, every day, as a fourth session, you don't gather for something the name for it.
I think everything was well. If that happens, there will be a lot of content.
Yeah. So there is religiously had the fourth session every day.
Then only that environment will be adapted. The communication also we have already designed a course for the area of the program. Whatever we must and how we make devices can do
I'd like to have a paper pencil exercise. In the light of what Vijay has said about TTM. Garrett, and I think this English communication also has got some modules. Can you tell me one thing?
English communication.
Yeah, within that.
Within that, each session is separate by itself. Like first session, we will give an introduction, and then probably there is another session where we will talk about art of speech. So it's just a revision of what.
So mix of many things.
No, that's fine. I'm able to understand Elizabeth only. Elizabeth tells me that for-point placement committee, okay, this will be the outcome, which we are going to give you on the policies. This will be able to do this. You have a placement committee about it. What do you tell? You have to tell him, because he has expressed his dissatisfaction on communication. Now tell him what I'm going to offer a deal for this year's placement system. You're going to have this for the second year also? Only for the first years. Okay.
He's asking what details are our.
We are planning to plan for the first year. And in the second year, it will continue for the.
Currently, the guys are going to place for 3-4 months down the line. You don't have any plan, but then it should be.
Actually, one year is the part of the answer.
Starting from election onwards, this year. Not the.
You have it for this batch. I'm saying why you have to take this in.
We are on the basis that we have no plan.
No, no, I think then you have to, I in the wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
Because what we will do is that it actually was for 1.5 years, and it has to be for the first 3 semesters of the program or for PG last semester. That's the only thing that was.
But I know that the next students.
They continue to be current gather from the source.
If you really want to bring in some changes in your placement, you have to add Monday for second year. Definitely have that for first year, but we also have to have an action plan for second year also.
We have
Second year is what I cover. After pass out of the not that people current test batch. The batch which you are going to get, then should be batch.
we have no plan.
You have okay. We will do the exercise. We talk the areas also about it. But I want to ask also again one thing. For 15-16 days, 2015-16 days, you are preparing still for that, right? Okay. So what are you going to tell placement committee that our students will be of this quality? Okay? Or these are our deliverables. These are our deliverables. Okay? By the time we reach the placement season, so what exactly is that?
What we are looking at is improving their communication skills in terms of conversational thinking and their practical skills, written skills and comprehension and communication. So it's the three different elements which will reflect upon training for, for example, interview training and GP. Those things we are looking at. Apart from that, what we feel is before when they go to interview training, what they actually lack is communication skills. So when
What communication skills?
communication skills is actually being able to translate what they what they're thinking. That's something they are not able to do most of the time. So what we thought is that until they're able to articulate what they feel or what they think about, it's going to be impossible to do that training activity, and the group discussion is not going to help them during the interview process. So where we're working on is the communication skills in not just written, then spoken communication. So that gap is what we are trying to plug in.
So are you telling them that they would articulate in English much better when they come from 2015, 16 and 17? Okay, so that is number one. Are you also telling that their performance in group discussion will be much better than last year or this year when they come for the 2015, 16 group discussions as a part of placement? Okay, so these are two things which they are telling. Okay. So let us understand this difference is going to happen probably. Okay. So how are you going to, at the end, by the end of 2016 or by the end of 2015-16, how are you going to tell us that your whole exercise of 1.5 years was useful?
So
How will you demonstrate that it was useful? Suppose if we tell you that we are going to give a big lump sum amount as a reward, okay, that depends upon your demonstrating that your whole set of sessions really resulted in a change much better than what is happening now. How will you demonstrate that?
So, what we started with is evaluating students on day one to understand what their reading is in terms of. So from there, every 10 sessions we will evaluate them and see how much change has happened. So after every 10 sessions is going to be a.
Okay, so you're talking about written communication, oral communication on a one-to-one basis, and a group discussion communication. Right? So 3 measures. Are there more measures?
Group discussion is not taking at all the first year. You are not planning to do the
Whenever you will take. There are going to be minimum 3 measures.
We are having the written communication and our oral communication evaluation after every 10 sessions. So those are going to be.
So you will be able to give us a graph on for 1.5 years for written communication and oral communication on a one-to-one basis, and a graph for 6 months for communication in a group discussion setting. Okay. So that will demonstrate as to whether it's really an improvement path or not. Right? So that's okay. So think about this. These are things. These are documentation. These are percentages that have to be done by later on. Okay. Yeah. But then I think this will keep outside this discussion today. We will discuss with various other plan out something for the first and second year in terms of communication. Very key. I suggest that you follow this particular format. Measure their written communication. Written communication, I don't know where it occurs in the interview.
That's an answer, but what we feel is, when you're actually given some time to think about people, write it out and then speak it out. So that is why we thought, and creative thinking, if you're talking about imagine a situation, think about it, then come back. Some interviews, they do tell you, I'm giving you a particular case, study kind of a small case, kind of situation, think over it, work over it, and come out. Then, when that creativity has to be done, we thought we give them some time to work on that and then
Correct. But more important is the one-to-one communication in the setting and communication or communication and group discussions. Yeah, right. So, we will measure, if suppose we are going to have a program for the second year, we will measure this when they come back for the second year program. Measure this right in the beginning. And, tell the patient people that this is the improvement, this is the improvement, this is the improvement, every month, right? So that is
If we are going to have it, we are going to have a system also by clearly telling that this improvement because. Okay? And I suggest one thing, both the first year as well as the second year. Okay? Though you would be having your own measures, okay? Your own measures, and you will be measuring, okay? But then maybe with less frequency, may not be once in 10 days, use it once in 10 days. Right? After 10 sessions, okay. Maybe we want that sort of frequency, but with less frequency. Get it done by potential recruits. Hello, sir. Can you do that? Can you get that done by potential recruits? Yeah, they are going to train in oral communication. Okay. And then they are going to measure their oral communication ability periodically after every transit. Okay. And show you the improvement. I'm talking about first year students. But I'm asking them, can you also bring people from the industry, your potential recruiters, and make them measure this? Yes. So I think there is an external measurement also which is going to happen. Okay? Beyond our internal measurement. Okay? Because that will also be a good input for you because we would like to, at some point in time have between your machines and their machines. So otherwise sometimes measures with the because I definitely have a lot of regards to Dr. Lilita Madam, but she will be able to trip on Shakespeare, which may not be what is wanted by probably the industry. I am bored. Because I keep telling her also, if you just go and trip on Shakespeare in the background,
We also participated that industry people like managers or managers and can be tested.
This is all done in a time in 2 to 3 hours. So you can have all the time you want, and you are, like you said, you are engaged.
Then another session.